here again with another Mission Impossible episode review. This time I'm going to be reviewing technically episode 6 of season 1, which is called Odds on Evil. So let's get started. So Dan gets his instructions at what appears to be a penny arcade full of adults playing random arcade sticky games. Okay, whatever. Maybe that's how things were back in the 60s, which I wasn't around, so I wouldn't know. The mission: Prince Eben Costas is the ruler of a tiny principality which prospers off of gambling, but is totally not Monaco, and he's buying arms to invade a neighboring country for its oil. The IMF must stop the deal and bankrupt Costas. We get the usual team, plus a guy named Andre Malef, who was played by Nico Minardos. More on that later. So Barney, in the apartment scene, shows off a computer that he's created that works with sensors that can fit under Willie's coat and is capable of monitoring the momentum of a ball on a roulette table. And it can then send the result of where the roulette table ball is going to land to a nearby watch. So then, with that, the IMF heads off to totally not Monaco, and Cinnamon makes a grand entrance. She immediately, of course, gets the attention of Playboy Costas, because duh, and Costas shoos away all of the people from the baccarat table so he can tell the Cinnamon and the audience how the game is played. I'm guessing not a lot of people knew how baccarat was played, so I'm glad we did get a little bit of an insight into what's going to happen, or else a lot of the episode doesn't make a lot of sense. Borgman, the arms dealer, arrives, taking the prince away from the game momentarily, so that the prince can confirm and show us that he's got the money and will pay for the arms shipment when it arrives. Barney follows Borgman to his room and tells him that the prince's money is counterfeit, and he represents people who will buy the arms if they can get a good deal on it. There's enough doubt placed in Borgman's mind to ask Costas to have another look at the money, which he does by asking for $10,000 so that the captain of the ship can be paid in advance. The money does turn out to be real, of course. Anyway, back to the casino. Cinnamon reveals to the prince that her marriage to Carlos, who is being played by Andre here, was only so that she could inherit her fortune. And she does as she pleases, so he's really of no concern. They can hang out and do whatever they like. Roland discovers that the casino uses special cards, specially marked, so that Costas' contact lenses can see the markings. Andre starts winning money at the roulette table thanks to Barney's gadgetry, while Roland and Barney work on the cards, and Roland dons similar contacts to Costas. Willie gets whisked away briefly by casino security, but Andre insists he stay because he's bringing him luck. Andre wins about $200,000, rubbing Costas the wrong way since it's sort of his money, and takes it to the baccarat table, where he loses it all to Roland. Andre angrily whisks Cinnamon away, so the prince decides to play against Roland to try and win some of his money back, which of course doesn't work. The exasperated prince takes Roland up on his offer to play for cash instead of chips, rather than have him walk away with the prince's money, and brings his entire stash of $1.5 million from his safe, as Borgman looks on uneasily. This time the deal favors the prince, but Roland has cards up his sleeve to pull out the win. The prince tells his heavy to make sure that money never leaves the casino. Roland then takes a bag of money up to his room, where it is lowered down on a rope to Andre and Cinnamon, who load it into her fur coat. Cinnamon goes to see the prince, saying that angry, drunk Andre is on the warpath and she needs his help. Andre arrives shortly afterwards and takes a shot at the prince, which ends up hitting Cinnamon. The prince tells his guys to take the two in his car over the border and arrange an accident to avoid any bad publicity. Meanwhile, Roland's extra cards are found in the prince's deck, but when they get to Roland's room, they find they are too late. Once over the border, Cinnamon and Andre overpower the prince's men, with Cinnamon actually getting into the action here. Stunt double, but whatever. And join the others who break through the border barricade. Mission accomplished. I'm going to give this one a grade of D. It's not a good episode. The highlight of it, I guess I want to say something good about at least one good thing about every episode, if I can, is that the guest actors are decent. They're not great. Okay, so going to the bad here, the biggest problem here is that the prince, the target of the episode, is just a complete schmuck. Nehemiah Persoff, as I mentioned, is a good actor, but he is a schmuck through and through in this one. He will show up in another couple of episodes in future seasons, and he's basically the same character. He's a schmuck in those ones too. Not quite as bad as this one, maybe, but still, what you see is what you get with him. That's basically the role that he's born to play. Also, the guest agent's role in this one is really, really lame. Nico Minardos is a fine actor, certainly, but because of his role, he's just very ordinary as the guest agent. He's just basically playing a character, and it's not even a really good character. There's just not a lot for him to do. Most of that is tied into the fact that this plot is really, really, really bad, okay? I mean, below average is what I wrote, but that's being very, very kind. It's a very formulaic plot. It's a fairly easy task. There is really no challenge here, right? We're not talking about, a Lex Luthor-esque mastermind that the IMF is going after. This is just really a greedy schmuck, and the IMF is able to take him out on his home turf. Perfect example of this. Towards the ending, where Cinnamon goes into Costas's room to talk to him and warn him that her husband is all angry and everything, the prince is just all alone in his room after having lost $1.5 million at his casino, and he's got no security. Cinnamon is just basically able to walk in and start talking to him, and not in 5 seconds later, practically, maybe a minute later, Andre, with a gun, can just go into the prince's suite. Like, what? I don't know. Stuff like that really, really, really shows that, there wasn't a whole heck of a lot to put into this plot and into this script. And that's why I can't give this one a very, very good episode. That trend is going to continue over the next little while. You'll see that we're going to get some not so great scripts and plots here, although there are some diamonds in the rough. So I'm definitely looking forward to next time. The next video will be for episode 7, which is called Wheels. I'm hoping to have that posted up very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe to my channel so that you get updates. I really, really appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.